Hey guys, check this out. Today Suma Performance has sent me these meters so I can put them on in the FJ. So we're gonna try them out and I'm gonna tell you all the features. One of the things that I really like is the point of view. This meters has a different point of view, so I'm gonna put in next to the original ones so you can see what I'm talking about. But pretty much they will kill the blind spots. And if you know, or if you know anybody with an FJ, or if you own an FJ, you know for a fact that this thing has so many different blind spots that it's like crazy. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna give you a quick example of what it's like when you're driving down the road. I'm pretty sure you have done this because I have done it myself as well, and you probably have done it more than once. Oh shit, I didn't see that guy. So I'm gonna open the box and show you what's inside. This is some of the meters and they have different ones. This one has a hue blue, as you can see, but they also have the regular one, the silver one. But this one has a anti-glare, that's why it looks a little bit bluish, but it has a lot of cool features. So we're gonna install these things in the car. We're gonna have to wire it. That's the only issue with this, is you're gonna have to do a little bit of work, but who doesn't like to work in their cars? Alright guys, so this is what you're gonna get in the box. You're gonna get a very nice swag bag. This is a very cool design, by the way. You're gonna get a microfiber cloth to clean your mirrors, the harness for both meters for turn signals, and this is the mirrors itself. Like I say, they got different styles, but this one is like a hue blue anti-glare, and it's a different point of view. So in this case, like you can see, you got two different connections. One of them is going to be for your turn signals, and then you have another connection for your defrost. So this is our options that you can pick if you want them or not. You can just buy the mirror if that's how you want. But I picked these options because I think those are very, very cool features to have, especially if you live in a place where it's cold or snow. Having a defrost in there, it will be super cool. Okay, so to do this, we're gonna need a few basic tools, but nothing crazy. Most of this stuff you probably already have. We're gonna need some extra wire. If you have a power probe or something to check for current, you can use that. Multimeter. 10mm sockets, just really basic stuff. But the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take out our mirror, and then we're gonna take out the door panel. So to take out the mirror, you want to pull from the bottom out, because it has like some clips on the top. I'll show you in a minute, but pretty much you just pull from the bottom, and once you snap out, then you go down just like that. And here's what I'm talking about. This is what it looked like. This is the top of it. So the top hook up like that, and then you push the bottom. That's why you got to pull the bottom first and then push down. But this is your factory mirror, and it's out. So now we're gonna take the door panel so we can remove the whole assembly. So to remove the door panel, what we're going to do is we're gonna take these caps off with a flat screwdriver, very tiny one. You're gonna take this cap off. You have another one right here, and these are gonna be Phillips screws. We're gonna remove the switch and disconnect it, and then you have this pin right here, which you're not really gonna pull on it first. You're gonna push just like that, and then this will pop out. So once you get all that done, take this screw out, take this screw out, take that pin out. All we're gonna do is to pry on it from the bottom and yank it out. Oh, I almost forgot the switch. So here's the way the switch look. You're gonna have to use a small screwdriver from the front first, pop the front, and then you slide it forward, come out. Here's your main switch. So now we can just use a pry tool and pry this thing up. Once you pop it from the bottom, then you just push it up. And then on the back, you're gonna have these cables that you will disconnect. Those are for your door handle. So now that the door panel is out, we can remove these 4 screws, and they're gonna be 10 millimeters or Phillips screwdriver, whichever you have. And once we get access here, once we remove that cover, you're gonna have access to the mirror assembly, your door mirror assembly, and you're gonna have 3 10mm screws and the plug. So disconnect the plug, take the 3 screws out, and then we're gonna be able to remove the assembly. So with your pry tool, we're gonna have to remove this cover and this footwell cover as well. Just gonna have to pry on it up. And you have just pop-up clips. You're gonna take it out, remove it. The same thing with your footwell. Let me see. So here's your foot pedal rest. And on the footwell, you're gonna have this little, it looks like a knot, but it's plastic. You're just gonna spin it same way, lefty loosey, and once you get that out, then you can yank this out. Now if we go down here in this bundle, you might have to strip some of this plastic wrapping off to see it, but you can see this thick yellow and green wire. This is gonna be your defrost wire. And how do we know that? Well, we are going to put the ignition on. This is gonna be our defrost cable, and we got our power probe or test light. Where is this? Is the cable. So right now we have ground in it, and once I put the switch on, it's gonna be hard. So now we're gonna put the switch on. It's gonna turn to power. If I can keep it in there. There you go. So now we got power, and if I turn it off, there you go. If I turn it on, I get power again. So this is your defrost cable. So now that we know what cable we're working on, what we want to do is we want to add a connection or cable from here to both doors, pretty much the driver door and the passenger door. So we want to run one more cable, maybe with a Y split, or just run 2 cables through this one. But this connection still have to be there. You cannot just cut the wire and just hook up the other one side and the other side leave it on. You have to have this in like a Y split pretty much for 2 cables. Now these connectors that they send, let me tell you about them. So the only thing that I really don't like about this kit is these connectors right here. And this is based on my own personal experience, but all I can tell you is that these things, they do work. You can put them on, you pretty much you put one wire on one side and put the other one on the other one. You pinch it together and you got power. The reason why I don't like these connectors is because they have no, pretty much it's not sealed. And once you break into the wire, it'll start getting humidity into it, and you get a lot of corrosion from it. So the longer that it stays there, almost every single connection that I have seen done with these, eventually the wire itself get kind of like green looking color, very corroded, and eventually that wire will be pretty much done. And the longer that you wait, the longer that corrosion keep spreading. So this is the only reason why I don't like these connectors. So I'm not gonna use these. You use whatever you want to use. I'm gonna use some heat shrink connectors, and I'm gonna run those cables like I say, and then we're gonna take the mirror assembly and we're gonna prepare it for our connection. Now this is just for the defrost. So for the turn signals, there's gonna be another set of cables that we have to add, and then we'll be done. So now we're gonna prepare our mirror assembly. We're gonna have to remove 3 screws, 1 here, 2 is gonna be here, 3 is in here, and you have a little tab in here. See right here, you're gonna push this tab and pry this plastic out of this one. Now we're going to remove this screw. And remove the rubber. So what you want to do is to get either a female connector for that defrost, or you can get a connector with a picture already, but you're gonna have to add your 2 wires for it. You want to run them behind the cage, behind all these, and then you're going to put it through. There's a hole right here. That's how you're gonna put it, and it's gonna come out on the bottom right here. You're just gonna grab it, and there you go. That's how you're gonna run your wires for your defrost. And then your signal wires, we're gonna run them the same way to right here, but we're going to we're gonna leave them in the bottom. So the signal's gonna be in the bottom, the defrost is gonna be on top. Here is the tool that I'm gonna be using. This is from Hystronica, and I'm gonna leave some links in the description. And this is the butt connectors I'm using, which they are shrinkable, so they're super easy to use. Just pretty much put it in there, clamp it, and that's it. Now I'll put the other one to the other side. Now we apply some heat. And that's what you get. Completely sealed, very clean, so no corrosion will get in there. Leave yourself some room to work with, so just pull the cables enough where you have some enough to just connect it back, and that's what you get. You're gonna have your defrost on top and your turn signals on the bottom, and they'll be coming out just like that. So the one thing is, you want to run those cables that we just put on under the window rail. If you don't do that, and I'm gonna still zip tie this because it's a little bit loose in here, so I'm gonna zip tie where they get tied to the other cable right there, and then we're going to run them down through right here. You're gonna have 2 10mm bolts, and this is gonna give you some space to move this out of the way. And we're going to run those cables through this rubber hose, and they're gonna come out this way, and that's how we're gonna make our connection. If you don't do that, if you don't run the cables under that, when the window come down, it's gonna break something. The cables or the window motor, window regulator, something is gonna give up. Alright guys, so we have our mirrors installed. We have all the wire harness already through the door, all the grounds for the signal and for the defrost already there. The only thing that we have left is the positive cable for the turn signals, which I'm about to show you, and that's gonna be probably maybe the hardest part of these, because it's like in a spot that you can barely reach. But let me show you where I put the wire so far so you have an idea what I did. So pretty much we're gonna have the same thing. We're gonna have the cable for our signal, which you have to run all the way over there. This is gonna be my ground cable in my case, which I just put it in ground somewhere on here. And this is gonna be my power to my defrost, which I'm gonna run all the way to the other side to connect it to that wire. Hey baby, what you doing here? Let's keep going. We're gonna take these glove box out, and just so you can see a little better, I'm pretty much just running this wire all the way to the other side under the dash pretty much, and then we're gonna connect it in the other side. So all the 4 cables go down here to up here, and then it'll go to that roller hose that will come out through there. And I got the ground cables in there. It doesn't really matter where you put the ground cable, ground is ground. But then the positive cables are coming out here, and where's my connection? Here's my connection. 1 cable come out this way, 2 cables come out forward, because 1 is gonna be for the driver door and the other one is gonna be for the passenger door, which I already put my door panel and everything. So now I'm gonna put this door panel on, and I'm gonna show you the turn signals, and we're pretty much done. All right guys, so it's super cramped down there. I'm gonna try to show you the best I can where these wires come from. It's a little relay on the top of the, here, it's better if I just show you. So here's our steering wheel. We come down here. It's gonna be your OBD gonna be in there. We're gonna turn around. You're gonna see all these blue harnesses in there. And then right where your OBD is, if we turn around, there's gonna be your OBD right here. It's gonna be on top of this box. So we're going to get, I don't know if you can see it right there. That's the relay that we need. We're just gonna unplug that one and see if we can pull it down so we can work with the cables down here. Okay guys, so what I did is I unplugged the other 3 plugs that are next to this cable, the same bundle, so I could bring them down. And then I didn't took the relay out because it was a pain in the ass, but I did just unplugged it, and then I pull it down. So now I'm gonna work down here, and then from this black connector for that relay, we're gonna only work with 2 cables. It's gonna be our blue and white is gonna be the driver's side turn signal, and then your pink one, yeah, solid pink one, is gonna be your passenger side. And if you remember, the cables for the turn signals, there were 1 black and 1 black and white. So the black and white is the positive, that's the one that you're gonna connect to. So for the driver's side, again, it's gonna be the blue and white, and then the one from the passenger side, we're gonna connect it to the pink one. So man, the blue ones look so much cooler. Like even with the sun hitting it, there's barely any glare. The point of view is so much wider. There's a car, there's a car, there's a car. Still see it, I still see it, and I still, man, that is so nice. Look, I got a car right there. I'm watching it, I see it, I see it, I see it. I still see it, I still see it, I still see it. 0. I no longer have a blind spot in either side, and no glare. I love the color blue. I think it goes well with the car. I like the little letters, the turn signals, I love it. Oh, this is nice. Alright guys, listen, I tested everything. The only thing I didn't show you is the defrost, but I mean it take like 2 minutes. I put my hand over and it was very warm on both sides. I don't have a temperature gun, so I can show you that part, but I promise you it will work. You can also test it with a test light or power probe before you install the meters. But take a look at these guys. The meters are fantastic. I love them, especially the turn signals. It's like for a modern car, but these things are like not so modern. So I don't know, to me I like it. I will say it's definitely worth the money, so check them out. And that's it for today. I hope you liked the video.